late, I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat, I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the Jordan, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman, I'm best man. I got my...
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Good job, D. Good job.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A second down throw for Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Able to power through, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 46.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Hicks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down again. Mike Bennett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Here we go, 46, 26, 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Screen pass to Sproles. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Play action. Now Wentz on the move to his left. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Austin. One of the longest punts in the last decade or so, 80-plus yards. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
List 5-7, list 5-7. Lion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
26.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He's going to go deep for Beasley. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. No problem there on the extra point. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Lefty.
They'll try to run with Ajayi. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
26.
Throwing, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
26. Here we go, 46.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jordan Hicks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Tate. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And that is incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go, 46, 46. Good. Here we go, 46, 46, 46.
Prescott to throw it. He's got the first down here inside the 30. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The give is to Elliott, and he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Oh, Prescott stripped. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They dump off underneath to Ajayi. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Wentz now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Great 15, great 15.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And got his man complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Wentz going to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop him 2 plays in a row, and it'll be 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Whoosh. Oh, now he bowls him over. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They've got great field position, obviously, to start this drive. Tie game, do you maybe go a little riskier here with that great field position?
I think some guys look at it and say, let's go. Be aggressive. Be bold. Let's get it downfield right now. Other guys will look at it and say, you know something? I think we're in a position to get 3 points if we don't make any big mistakes. Run our offense, get in that spot, and see if you get the 3, and hopefully maybe even more.
Either way, I bet they're happy to have options. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially his 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go, 47, 47. Here we go, 47. Gun. 46.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And out come the Eagles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Wake in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Coming now. Here we go, 46.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Prescott now on 2nd down. A dump off to Elliott. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's caught by Beasley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Swing to the fit, right. To the right.
A give to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Elliott. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Here's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Will Tye, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll get it up near the 30. Right at the 34 here. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Ajayi. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Ertz over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4.
Check. Mike 38.
Now Wentz again. Aguilar has it. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It's a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that, Brock.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Everyone, 26, 26.
They go to Elliott again. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
You go 46, 46. You go 46. Switch is A. Gun. 26. 26.
Prescott. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And he's able to get it out of there. Sproles, the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the front.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice save.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Wentz to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As he'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Eagles coming up here on a third and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Trey 15.
Back to throw. Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a one-score game. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So the clock sits at 16 seconds as they line up for the onside kick. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
You go 46, 46. You go 46. Good. 26.
Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Dallas, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.